Hey everyone, welcome to Wealth Redefined. I'm your host, Michael Reynolds, certified financial planner and owner of Elevation Financial. I'm on the web at elevationfinancial.com. You're welcome to reach out there anytime. Can a 529 be rolled into a Roth IRA? It's a question many are asking right now because of some new rules that let you do this sort of thing. So a 529 college savings account can be a really great way to save for college. That's tax advantages. It can be invested, and it's specifically designed for education. So one concern, though, that many parents have is related to a what if scenario, which is what if your child doesn't attend college? Or what if you have funds left over after college is paid for? A lot of people are concerned about overfunding the 529, and then what do you do with it without paying taxes or penalties? So one option, of course, is to update the beneficiary to another child. Another option is to simply withdraw the money and live with the fact that you'll pay taxes and penalties on the growth, which is not the worst thing in the world. But thanks to Secure Act 2.0, there is another option, which is to roll over the funds into a Roth IRA. So let's first back up and just briefly talk about how a 529 works first. A 529 account, which is also often referred to as a 529 plan, is a tax-advantaged savings plan designed to encourage savings for future education costs. It's named after Section 529 of the Internal Revenue Code, and they're sponsored by states, state agencies, or educational institutions. So contributors can invest in a variety of different investment options like mutual funds, and it's invested in the market. And contributions grow tax deferred, and withdrawals are tax free when used for qualified education expenses, which includes things like tuition, room and board, books, other supplies, etc. So recently, this has been expanded also to include K through 12 tuition up to a certain amount. So the plans are really flexible. The beneficiary can use them for a variety of education expenses. And many states also offer tax deductions for contributions, and a few even offer tax credit. So a lot of advantages to these accounts. Next, let's quickly touch on Roth IRAs. So a Roth IRA is a retirement savings account offering tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals in retirement under certain conditions. So contributions are made with after-tax dollars, which means you don't get a tax deduction when you contribute, but you benefit from tax-free withdrawals later on. So the Roth IRA has annual contribution limits as well as income limits affecting eligibility. Contributions and earnings can be withdrawn tax-free in retirement, which is 59 and a half years old or older. And there's no required minimum distributions during your lifetime as well. So there's some estate planning benefits. You can also withdraw your earnings. I'm sorry, I'm wrong about that. You can also withdraw your contributions. I misspoke. Not earnings at any time without taxes or penalties, which gives you some flexibility. So contributions can be withdrawn from Roth IRAs anytime, which makes it flexible. So really, Roth IRAs can be ideal for people who expect to be in a higher tax bracket in retirement, or who value the flexibility and tax benefits for the retirement savings. And they can be especially attractive for younger people because of the long time horizon for tax-free growth. All right, so let's talk about rolling a 529 to a Roth IRA. So due to a new provision in Secure Act 2.0, which is a law passed in 2022 focusing on enhancing retirement accounts, you now have the option of rolling over a limited portion of a 529 to a Roth IRA in the name of the beneficiary, tax and penalty free. So here are the rules behind it. One, the maximum lifetime for rollovers is $35,000 per beneficiary. Next, to utilize the option of transferring funds from a 529 plan to a Roth IRA, the 529 account must have been established for at least 15 years. Furthermore, the contributions to the 529 made in the last 5 years, along with the earnings, cannot be moved to a Roth IRA. The transfer of funds from a 529 to a Roth IRA does adhere to the annual Roth IRA contribution cap, which for 2024 is $7,000 if you're under age 50. And the maximum lifetime transfer is $35,000. So to transfer a total of $35,000, you have to spread out the transfer over multiple years. Also, the individual receiving the Roth IRA must be the same as the beneficiary of the 529 plan. For the process of moving funds from the 529 plan to the Roth IRA, the recipient needs to have income from work. So the maximum amount that can be transferred is either equal to the recipient's annual income or the Roth IRA's yearly contribution limit, whichever is lower. So for example, if the recipient income for a year is $3,000, then only $3,000 from the 529 can be transferred to the Roth IRA. So without earned income, you can't have any transfer. It still has to follow the earned income rule. Another rule, a rollover is not subject to Roth IRA income limits. So 529 funds can be enrolled to the beneficiary's Roth IRA regardless of income. So the beneficiary can make as much money as they want, and they can still benefit from this transfer. It is possible. You can't move money back into the 529 once the rollover is complete. Also, the annual Roth IRA contribution limits count both regular contributions and 529 rollover as an aggregate. So if the beneficiary maxes out a Roth IRA for the year, the 529 funds can't be rolled over that year. Next, the rollover has to be direct to the Roth IRA. So the check gets sent directly to the custodian, which is the institution holding the account for the Roth IRA. And then finally, if the beneficiary changes, it will reset the 15-year clock. So you can't just change the beneficiary last minute, because that starts a new 15-year clock that the account has to be established for that beneficiary before you can do this transfer. All right, with all those rules out of the way, how do you do it? How do you roll over a 529 to a Roth IRA? So if you're a parent wondering how to actually do this, the good news is it's a fairly simple process. It is new, so many states won't have the process kind of fine-tuned yet, but many do have the forms available. So step one is to contact the plan provider for the 529 account and ask for the rollover form. So many state plans have the forms on their websites. So go ahead and start there and see if you see it. If not, contact them and ask for the form. You'll then complete the rollover form and submit it to the 529 custodian, which again is the platform of the investment custodian holding the 529 funds. And then a check will be issued directly to the Roth IRA of the beneficiary. You'll need to make sure you have these moves documented in the event of an IRS audit. So, a 1099-Q is going to be generated for the funds distributed from the 529 plan, and a Form 5498 will be received from the Roth contribution. So keep those documents handy and provide them to your tax preparer. So ultimately, is a 529 to Roth IRA rollover right for you? Maybe. Here's when it might be worth considering. Let's say you have extra funds in your 529. Let's say also your child does not plan to attend college or has finished college and is not likely to go back to school anytime soon. Let's say you also have no other college-bound children or other eligible beneficiaries that you want to use the account for. Also, your child has earned income and is therefore eligible for a Roth IRA contribution, and you don't like the idea of paying taxes and penalties on the growth, and you want to give your child a head start on retirement savings. So if those conditions are true in general, a 529 to Roth IRA rollover might be a great way to use those extra funds in a tax efficient way that benefits your child. So again, that could be a specific scenario where it would make sense. So again, a nice feature from Secure Act 2.0, and it's a nice way to kind of have a safety valve if you overfund the 529 or find yourself not able to use the whole thing. This can give you a nice way to get a tax efficient way to utilize it. So that is the scoop. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. As always, I encourage people to reach out on my website, send me a note, or schedule a consultation if you want to learn more about working with me or anything else at all. Feel free to just reach out. I'm easy to find. All right. So with that, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for joining me today. As always, again, my website one more time, elevationfinancial.com. Feel free to follow me there, subscribe, all the places. And thanks for joining me today. Have a great day. We will see you next time.